So we all remember blockbusters. Everyone probably has some fond memories that take us back in the day. I mean, it's probably why navy blue is my favorite color because of blockbusters. But let's talk about this Netflix series. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Blockbuster Netflix series review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, so now we have Blockbuster on Netflix right now. So if you have this streaming platform, you can enjoy this in the privacy, in the convenience of your own home. It is being described as a comedy, so hopefully we will be getting a lot of laughs. Another great thing is this series is only 10 episodes and they're not 1 hour each, not even 30 minutes. They average out to about 25 minutes per episode. So if you wanted something quick to watch, this may be up your alley. Now, this is being created by Vanessa Ramos, and I've never heard of her before, but this is her IMDb. She was the writer on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Kenan, Superstore, and now Blockbuster. And if we just scroll down a little bit more, here are a few other of her titles, which I have not seen. But if you are a fan of Miss Vanessa Ramos and you like her past work, let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know, guys, were you looking forward to this series? Because like myself, I really was looking forward to it. Like I said in my intro, I love blockbusters. When you was going to a blockbuster, you knew you was about to have an epic night. And I think we take our home entertainment for granted because now it is all digital. So you're just kind of like, okay, hey, I'll watch it whenever I want to. Even if I fall asleep, it doesn't matter. I can wake up the next day and finish it. I can watch it whenever. But when it comes to blockbusters, no, you didn't want them extra fees. You know what I'm saying? You had to make sure we watching this at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Make sure that you will wind it all the way back. Be kind, rewind. We're taking it all the way back to VHS tapes, not just DVDs and discs. And so that was just more of an incentive for you to invite friends over, invite family over, and just be committed to watching a television show, a movie in the comfort of your own home. I mean, it was a spot, whether you was renting a movie or not, or were just bored in high school and kind of wanted a place to hang out every once in a while. Yes, it did bring back a lot of memories. And so my expectations for this was through the roof. Also because I like the cast. We got JB Smoove right here. He's a pretty cool dude at times. And also Randall Park. I enjoy both of these actors in the MCU. Both of them are in those movies. Randall Park in the Ant-Man and also JB Smoove in the latest Spider-Man movies. And so that did kind of give me more incentive to watch and anticipate this show. But before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this series is all about. Set in the last blockbuster video in America, explores what it takes and who it takes for a small business to succeed. All right, guys, so the first thing that I like about this series is part of the cast, and that has to do with Mr. Randall Park. I don't know what it is, but I just like this guy as an actor. He's not super duper hilarious to me, but it's something about him that is fascinating when I see him on screen. He seems like somebody I can relate to as far as his awkwardness sometimes when he is around a crush. I necessarily don't have that problem in real life, but every once in a while, if there is somebody that I am over the moon for, I can kind of stumble over my words and talk blah, 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 blah. That's kind of what we get from Randall Park's character just a bit. And what I also do like about him is when he does see an opportunity, he does take advantage of it. He doesn't waste time. He does not procrastinate. He is going to do it right then and there, whether it's a customer that he's trying to make a sale to, a young lady that he has a crush on and he wants to shoot his shot, or wants to do inventory, whatever. He seems like a great manager. He seems like a cool dude. He is possibly one of the only people I would want to hang out with, but I do like that he takes advantage of opportunity. The next thing that I like about this series is JB Smoove, and not necessarily his character per se, because when I see JB Smoove pop up in movies and television, I'm always on the fence. I don't always like his character, but I never always hate his character either. He is just there. Now, in this series right here, or let me take it back, I did really like his character in the latest Spider-Man movies. I don't know why. I just found something that I liked about him in that series. When it comes to this Blockbuster series, he is just there. He's kind of annoying just a little bit, and it's always like a tennis match going back and forth, whether I like him or not. But what I liked about him in this series is the relationship that he has with his daughter, Kayla, by the name of Camilla Fairborn. Now, I've never heard of her before, but I believe it was at the end of episode 2 where he was talking to Randall Park's character, Timmy, and just expressing the reasons why he needs his daughter to stay employed at Blockbuster. I don't want to spoil it for you here, but it was a very nice, sentimental, loving heart moment. And I did like that a lot. I mean, you know, dads should be good dads by default, and he is going out of his way to be the best dad that he can to his daughter. Whether or not she appreciates it or not is a different story, but that at that point in time is when I connected with this character and was like, okay, I do like this guy for that reason alone. Another thing that I like about this series is when all of the employees are interacting with the customers. Of course, in Blockbuster or any store, you're going to get customers from all walks of life, and it's just kind of nice to see what they're interested in when it comes to television, movie rentals, or video games. We get dashes of that in this series, and our characters also have to do with weird customers that do make weird requests or obsessed with the Olsen twins. Like, I just want to see all movies and television shows with the Olsen twins. We get a lot of that in there, and that was more of the highlight of the show, again, with them just kind of interacting with customers, because me, myself, I was a customer. I never did work at Blockbuster, so I won't really know that perspective, but it is a perspective in this series that I am able to relate to, just looking for movies and just want to be entertained or get recommendations. And the next thing that I liked about this series is the brief movie trivia that some of the characters did give us. I kind of like that myself. I remember in college, one of my older roommates is whenever a movie would come on television, before we press info, we would guess to see what year that television show or movie came out. And once we placed our bets, we would hit the button and, you know, hey, I won or lost. And I kind of got those vibes with the trivia as well. And then I played trivia even going into Blockbuster sometime, like, where is this movie located? Or where is this located? Or just some of the random things, like you go to your favorite store and you have it memorized, but you kind of get frustrated when they rearrange everything. Of course, we all hate that at the grocery store. And I also hated that at Blockbuster. And it just kind of made me think of the trivia as well. So those are all cool right there, and just the reasons why I did like this series. But now, guys, let me transition to some things that I really didn't care for in this series that did also kind of rub me the wrong way or just did not keep me interested. I just spoke about JB Smooth's character and the relationship that he has with his daughter. And here's his daughter right here again by the name of Kayla. And Kayla was fine. And she had good acting in this series. But what bugged me is her outfit, her uniform with her shirt out. I don't know what type of retail store would allow their employees to have their stomach out in their work clothes. It just doesn't make sense to me, and it seems like it would be a distraction. I don't know any job, period, unless you're a model or a lifeguard to where you're just, or work at some bar or club to where you're able to have your stomach out. That just really didn't make sense to me. I don't know why they put that in this series. And also, it was just kind of weird that her father never called her out on it. Again, she's fine, but that was just kind of weird to me and stood out in a bad way. Another thing that I did not like about this series is, while I did like the characters' interaction with the customers, I did not like their interactions with each other. I found that to be dreadfully boring, uninteresting, and I did not want to see any of it at all. It just was bland to me. I just didn't care. I wanted to see something else. That was just one of the downfalls of this series, and it was super duper annoying. Another thing that was annoying is this series was advertised as the Blockbuster, the last one in the country, the last one in the world. And what do these characters have to do to possibly salvage it or succeed? Or at least that's the way I perceived it. But they only tackled that story in the first episode, rushed through it, and just brushed over it, and it's never brought back for the rest of the series. And that's quite annoying to me. Also, guys, this series is not funny. It is not funny at all. I was struggling to watch this again. Netflix was nice enough to give me access to view this early. I saw the first 2 episodes before it came out, and I did not have any motivation to go back and continue. So I saw the first 2 episodes, and then I saw episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I got through that, and I was about to abandon the show at the end of episode 6. But they had a cliffhanger at the end of 6 that had to do with a character and infidelity. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let me keep watching, and I was only able to make it to episode 7. And then, guys, I abandoned the show. I don't know how episode 7 ended or how 8, 9, and 10, because I just could not do it. It felt like a daunting chore, and I did not want to be a part of it anymore. And that's mainly because it wasn't funny. The only times I laughed was towards the end of episode 2. I laughed out loud. Episode 4, I chuckled, and then episode 5, I did kind of laugh a lot towards the end of the episode. One reason being is Randall Park's character and him trying to date the opposite sex, just somehow the way that women fell into his lap. I did find that hilarious and completely unrealistic. That's possibly another reason why I found it funny. But other than that, guys, I was not laughing. It was just so many forced jokes that did not come across as funny or entertaining in the least bit. And one of those jokes comes from this actress right here, attempted jokes, Olga Marindez. Now, I've never heard of this woman before. I'm pretty sure she's a sweetheart in real life and has a nice filmography. But everything coming, and she has 88 credits, but everything coming from this woman in this show was not funny to me. It felt forced. It felt like a stage play, and not just from her, another character by the name of Eliza. It just was not working out. Her real name is Melissa Fumero, and she's right here. Here's her filmography. Everything that Olga and also Miss Melissa right here Fumero, I'll say Eliza was better, but she was okay. But Olga here, it just wasn't funny. I did not find anything she said was funny at all. It just wasn't funny. Another character by the name of Hannah, she was just thrown in as the dumb character that makes airhead jokes and just a dumb blind, and I didn't really find that funny either. Just like, oh, let me continue making mistakes over and over again. I just didn't find it funny, guys. This series just was not funny to me, unfortunately, and that is one of the main things I wanted to see it for. Another scene in this series, guys, is there is absolutely zero nostalgic factor to Blockbuster in this whole series. It might as well not even be called Blockbuster. The only thing that you can reminisce on is the color blue and also the name tags, the labels, and the signage. But there was just nothing about this series that reminded me of Blockbuster back in the day. Like, oh, just the memories. It was non-existent, and I thought that was missing from the series too. I don't know what I wanted with this series, but the tone just wasn't for me. I would have liked it to be more of a tone like Employee of the Month that came out in 2006. I really did enjoy that. Or Next Friday, when Day Day is in the video store and you got Pinky in there. Any one of these or a combination of those tones would have resonated with me more, but this was not for me. I'm not saying that the series is bad. I'm not saying that it's crap. I am pretty sure there are going to be some people out there that love this series, love these characters, love the tone, and love the story, all of that. But it's just not for me, guys. It's just not for me. And again, it just became a daunting chore that I did not want to be part of anymore. I couldn't finish the series because I was just so bored and uninterested. There are no characters in this whole series that I would actually want to hang out with other than I was forced, and that would have to be Timmy's character, played by Randall Park. There's nobody in this series that I look at as a mentor or a big brother. There's nobody that I would want to go to for advice. There's nobody that I find visually appealing, any eye candy or anybody that I would want to date or anything like that, guys. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me, but hopefully it is for you. But guys, I will go ahead and give my rating for this series at the very end of this video. But for now, guys, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach 50,000 subscribers. And if you want to know why you want to subscribe, I got movie reviews, spoiler movie reviews, series reviews, a weekly movie news roundup show, and I also talk about different television shows that are streaming right now on my platform, like Love is Blind and also Atlanta season 4. So if I had to rate Blockbuster out of a 1 out of 10 on Netflix, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Yes, a 4 out of 10. mainly this is supposed to be funny. It was not. It was barely funny. It was barely funny. And I know comedy is subjective, but it just wasn't really working for me over here. My guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.